What's up guys, just a quick one with the Pinter again, and I'm doing Southgate's the Euro. Southgate Euro's the one, which is English pale, and it should be about 4.5. Now, I have something very special in this cup. It's brewing sugar. I'm going to add approximately 100 grams of brewing sugar to this brew, in addition to the sugars that are already in there. See how it turns out, see if I can make the beer stronger just by adding additional sugars, which stands to reason, it should. The yeast should just attack it, yada yada yada. So I'm going to put this in first. Because I don't want to add it after and then it add volume to the mix. So in that goes there, and as we add the water, it will be dissolving it as well. Now, they do not recommend that you add anything other than the fresh pressed thing to it, so this will be voiding my warranty, but I don't give a shit. And also, because I like a really hoppy beer, I'm putting some hop oil in, Citralicious hop oil. Last time I used this, I needed about 4 drops per pint. I'm not about to put 40 drops in, just because I can't be arsed. So, I'm just gonna squeeze some of that in like that, plenty of it, about a third of that bottle there, which is a 10ml bottle. In fact, that's about half of the bottle now. Yeah, even more of it now. So just over half of that bottle in there. And that should make it super hoppy. I'm going to do this yeast backwards as well, because I don't know, I just hate getting the fucking yeast all... Actually no, I'm not. Here I am. I plan to, so I'm going to. Because then as you're mixing, you see, as you're putting your water in to begin with, you start water, it's already sort of like mixing it as it goes in, innit? Giving it a head start, so then you don't need to fuck around mixing it after. Then you get all those yeast bugs and shit. So I'm just going to take a picture of this, so I'm going to have to cut this out a sec. Right, I'm back again, and we're going to get cracking. So we're going to take the water. And we're going to put it into the pinter up to the level that they say to put it up to. And as that's going in, it's mixing it up as well, so which is always handy, really. Wow, I could really smell those hop oils in there. I might have overdone it. So it's about 5 mil of hop oil in there. Maybe a bit excessive, but it's an experiment. We don't know what's going to happen. Now, I like really hoppy beers, like some that are like to the point where some might say that they're over hoppy, like too hoppy. I don't think there's such thing. Oh, also what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a hydrometer reading. If you don't know what a hydrometer is, it's one of these little gadgets. And what this does is it measures the density of liquid. So water sits at this line here, which is 1.000, and anything with sugar in it has a thicker density, so it makes it more buoyant and floats up. This is how we can measure the amount of alcohol that's produced in it as well. Now I have another one of these as well, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the other one normal and see whether it does what it says on the tin. See if it says, like, it gives us the right amount. Well, that didn't even have a seal on it, so it might have been one of the older ones, but hey ho, I'm going to get that in there. Now I was supposed to let that come to room temperature, but I'm just not bothered. it's warm enough. You know, it's not gonna cause it any major issues. Yeast is in, extra sugar's in. Let that gloop its way in, and we're gonna whisk it all up with my brewing wand, which is over there. Yep. It's been sanitized. Anything that touches anything I brew with gets sanitized. Even my hands in sanitizing liquid while sanitizing the hydrometer and my turkey baster. My taster baster is what I call it. So now, instead of all these little dribblers taking forever, we're going to put a bit of water in there. Just a bit. Just enough to get it covered and get all them, because you need all those sugars basically. If you don't have all them sugars, you ain't going to reach the ABV it says on it, which this should, by rights and by my reckoning, go higher than the ABV that it says it's going to. So yeah, lovely jubbly. Not sure how much more, because I'm not sure, I don't know the sugar to output ratio, yield or whatever you want to call it. So just give that a little bit of a jig around in there. Get some oxygen in there, ready for the yeast to start doing its job. They need plenty of oxygen. This is why I do it with the top open instead of the way that the Pinter tell you to do it. Because the way the Pinter tell you to do it, you've only got the air that's in there, as where I can add tons more in just by whisking this shit up. And we want to make sure that that excess sugar, or sorry, extra sugar that we put in there has actually dissolved as well. Although it would ferment, it just wouldn't ferment very effectively. Now I can't feel any of it on the bottom of there, so I think we're good. Right, so now a hydrometer test, and we'll see what the gravity is, and then we'll know once it's brewed how much alcohol's in it. Now, let's sit this somewhere on a flat surface. Over here, move the dirty dishes. That's sitting at 52. So, if it goes from 52 to something dry, where there's no sugar left, I'm just going to get another whisk up actually, just in case those other sugars haven't mixed in. They should have done. Right. A pal of mine brewed one of these the other week, so I know what it tastes like before I put all the additional stuff in. So that says 52. Go away. And then you're just going to do the normal stuff that you do. You attach your lid and that. I have to engage mine upside down for some bizarre reason. It doesn't like doing it the way that it's intended to do, so I have to do it upside down. And this is how I also get a bit of oxygen into it as well. Passing it through that conical bit, gloves. If you've not used a Pinter before, they are a pretty good piece of kit, but make sure you've got a fridge big enough for it. Ideally, you need it big enough for it to room for it to stand up in there for 24 hours at least after it's finished brewing, because you do a thing called a cold crash, which is where you put it in somewhere really cold, and it just helps everything clear out, drop to the bottom. And then you need the space as well. Once you've taken your dock off, you need your space in there to put it flat so that you can pour from it while when it's finished conditioning. Right, so that's that then. carbonation dial on. And that's that. We're gonna wait and see how it goes. Obviously, we'll hear the action kicking off in the next day or so. Within 24 hours, it will start its job, start doing what it's gonna do. We've got extra sugars in there. We've got lots of bloody hop oil, which smell great. And I'm going to take, once it's brewed, I'm going to pour one off. The one I pour off, I'm going to let it go flat. And then I'm going to measure the gravity. Because it's already carbonated, I can't check the gravity straight away because of the bubbles. The bubbles will give you a false reading. So we'll do that. And yeah, it should be fun. And it should be a bit stronger than what they recommend it's going to be. Peace.